Hey mamas, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zahara if you're new here. I'm a wife, a mom, a content creator, and we glorify God on this side. So welcome. I'm really excited to be making this video. This is a video that I have thought about making for literally like 3 or 4 years now. So I'm really excited to finally be making it. I think if I would have made it then, it wouldn't give off the same effect and impact as now. So I'm just really thankful that I have waited this long to make this video, because now I'm in such a different space and I think that I can give a little bit more oomph, you know, to the topic. So by now I'm sure you've already read the title. This video is going to be about things that nobody really told me before I hopped into motherhood. Before I start this video, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would greatly appreciate if you did. Over here we talk about marriage, we talk about motherhood, we talk about modesty, we talk about God, and we just have a really good time over here. So if you would like to subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I will leave all of my social media channels down below if you would like to follow me over there. I post things about my children, I post things about my life. So yeah, we have a really good time. We have a you tell them, y'all. Tell them we have a good time over there. Yeah, so before we really dive into this video, I'm going to be talking about some difficult things. So I want to preface this video. Is that how you say it, preface? I want to start this video off by saying that I love being a mom. I love my children. The things that you're going to hear are difficult to talk about. Sometimes you don't really want to talk about them because you don't want people to think that you're like complaining about being a mom, or you're taking this role for granted, or you don't like being a mom. But listen, the things have to be said so people know that they're not alone when they're having these feelings, and how to effectively deal with those feelings when they come, right? So I love being a mom. I love my children. I don't regret any experiences that I've had on this road to being a mom, because those experiences have made me the person I am, the mom that I am today, and are continuing to make me the mom that I am. So the good, the bad, the ugly, all of the stuff in between, I don't regret it. Not one bit. I love the journey of motherhood, and I'm looking forward to the next, my oldest are 7, so I'm looking forward to the next 7 years of motherhood to see where that takes me. My children have honestly helped me grow. They've broken me, which is not a bad thing. They've broken me so that I know where I was weak and where I needed to build up strength in my motherhood area. And even just as a woman, they've helped me just see, okay, I was weak over here, or I need to work on this a little bit more. So I just wanted to throw that out there before I got started, because I don't want anybody to misinterpret my words or misunderstand what I am saying. I love being a mom. Wouldn't trade it for anything. I just wish I would have known certain things, y'all, before diving into motherhood. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I don't think I have these in any particular order, from like the most significant to the least significant, but this first one that I'm going to talk about is probably my biggest lesson since becoming a mom. It is not a straight path to the labor and delivery room. Y'all, the journey that you go on when you become pregnant. So literally finding out you're pregnant up until having this baby. I was 19 when I got pregnant with the twins, and I guess just being young and naive, I thought it would be easy, and okay, I'm going to go through this pregnancy, I'm going to experience what other pregnant women experience, and then I'm going to have these children, and then I'm going to bring them home. And baby, that's just not how it is. The journey from finding out you're pregnant to delivering your child or children is such a windy, windy path, and it like has different detours and little different roads inside. Like, it's so much stuff that you're just not prepared for, I guess, because people really don't talk about it. I guess because they don't want to scare you when you're pregnant. But listen, things happen, and I rather know that these things could potentially happen so that I can prepare myself than being completely blindsided. I've had 5 pregnancies, okay? And out of those 5 pregnancies, I only have 3 children. So listen, things happen. And every single one of my pregnancies was completely different. If y'all would like a video on me talking about the similarities and differences between all my pregnancies, let me know. That'll be something that I would love to make for y'all, because literally I have not experienced like a similar birthing experience for each child, a similar delivery experience for each child. A coming home experience was different. I had a freaking pandemic baby. I've had twins. I've had babies with defects. Listen, I've experienced so many different types of births, so if y'all would like to see a video about that, please let me know. There's so much that can happen, and there's so much that does happen. So once you get pregnant, don't allow the perfection of the internet to allow you to think that it's going to be a seamless, easy, straight and narrow road to delivering your baby, because a lot of stuff can happen. There are some like common things that every woman deals with, okay? Your body undergoes these different changes. You're battling stretch marks, you're dealing with fatigue, your feet are hurting, things are swollen. Those are the common things that most women typically deal with during pregnancies, but there are some uncommon things like birth defects and like gestational diabetes, and like even this is something that I just learned when I was pregnant with so my second pregnancy, that your teeth can literally fall out. I know that we've all seen that TikTok lady, and she has this list of reasons not to have children, and though that's a very serious list. Like your teeth, literally one of my teeth cracked and chipped because I didn't have like the vitamins, and I didn't know babies pull vitamins from your teeth when you get pregnant. There's so many different things, y'all, that you're just not prepared for and ready for. So I think that if you are pregnant, or if you want to become pregnant, do some research on what happens to your body. Do some research on like what's going on inside of you, so you are prepared in case those things happen. All right, I feel like I rambled on a little bit, but listen, it's a real thing, okay? Number 2 is you will completely lose any sense of self-identity. And I know that sounds horrible, but let me, okay, hold on. I have been a stay-at-home mom, and I have been a working mom, and I will say, as a stay-at-home mom, I have lost every sense of who I was before I had kids. Whoever I was before, that person is gone. She's never coming back, and she's just gone. And that could be a good thing, or that could be a bad thing, depending on how you want to take it. I look at it as a good thing. I try to find the positives in things that are negative. You're going to undergo changes in your personality. Like for me, I was very hot-headed. I was very temperamental. I'm very impatient. I like to come and go as I please. I like to do what I want. And being a mom, I cannot come and go as I please. I have tiny humans relying on me. I cannot be so hot-headed and temperamental because I have these little people who have feelings. I cannot be super impatient because children require a lot of patience, especially being a first-time mom. It is a different beast, I'm telling you. There's going to be changes to your lifestyle, changes just to your overall being, and you should look at those things as a positive. You're growing into this new person. You're hitting a new chapter into your life. I know some people look at it as like, oh, I'm just not the same, and you're not. Your body changes. Your inside, literally your insides is changing and moving around. Your hormones are changing. Everything is changing. So of course your personality is going to change a little bit. You're going to be a little bit more absorbed into your children, or at least you should be. That's how I was starting off being a mom. I was realizing I wasn't being the same type of person that I used to be before. Losing who you used to be is a traumatic shift or a traumatic change that you have to slowly just get used to. And with that comes baby blues, postpartum depression, and mom guilt. All of those things are 100% real, and you at some point will probably face those things, which I will talk about mom guilt and baby blues in just a second. But those things are real, and those are things that you're gonna have to just learn how to overcome and get used to, because as much as you want to keep that old person, she's gone, babe. Okay, so nurture the new person that you're becoming rather than trying to fight for that old person that you used to be. Number 3 is that gender bias is real. I know we have all seen those like TikTok videos and Instagram videos where you'll see like a gender reveal and the mother wants a boy, and like she gets a girl and she's throwing a tantrum, she's kicking and screaming on the floor, and she's wilding. That is at the extreme, but the feeling of, oh my God, I really wanted a boy and I'm having a girl is real. Even if it comes in mild forms like, oh my God, I really wanted a girl, or oh my God, no. Like, that is still gender bias. I have never experienced gender bias until our last daughter. So with the twins, I came out the gate, I had a boy and a girl, I was happy. Our next child, I wanted a boy, but I really didn't care if we had a boy or a girl. We had a girl, I was fine. She passed away, so I wanted a girl again because I wanted a girl again. So we got her with Suri, and then the next child, I wanted a boy and we were having a girl. So when I found out that we were having a girl, I was like, oh no, I wanted a boy. However, immediately after we found out that her heart was not beating and she was not alive anymore, and instantly that gender bias went away because I'd rather have a healthy child than a dead one, no matter what the gender is. So I will say, if that gender bias creeps in and you're feeling like underwhelmed with the gender of your baby, just remember that it's so much better to have a healthy child, whether you wanted a boy or a girl, whatever the gender is, you want it to be healthy, because they could be not alive, you know? So just be happy with whatever gender that God blesses you with. It doesn't matter, honestly. It literally doesn't matter. Just be happy and raise whatever the gender is to the best of your ability. The next one is that having a child will change relationships around you. This is a huge one, and whether that be partners, whether that be family or friends, relationships sometimes will just look a little bit different. With your partner, especially if it is your first child, things are going to be rough because neither of you are gonna know what the heck is going on. Okay, y'all are both doing something for the first time, and it is going to cause wear and tear on your relationship. This is why I feel that it is extremely important to know who you are having a child with. Having casual sex and just having children with whoever is never the thing to do. Whenever you do bring a child into the world with somebody, you want to make sure that that is a solid foundation, because it's going to be tried. Cracks are going to come into it. It's going to be so many things coming against that relationship when you're having this child. Hormones are going to be all over the place. You're going to be fatigued. Nobody's getting no sleep. As a mom, you're nursing or feeding the baby all through the night, so you're upset because you're going to look over, he's going to be asleep, you're going to be up with the baby, and it's going to make you frustrated with him. He's waking up like, oh, how'd you sleep? I didn't. Like, it's going to cause tension. Unfortunately, sometimes it just is what it is. So you want to make sure that you have a really solid foundation with your husband. Okay? Have children with your husband. I cannot stress that enough. Another relationship that I definitely see that it takes a toll on is family, because I'm loving this new wave of parents who are deciding to break generational curses by parenting. And I'm not too much talking about gentle parenting. I'm just talking about gentler parenting. You know, like gentler parenting than what our parents did, but not gentle parenting that we see. I'm not into that, but I do appreciate it and I do like it. And with that, some people do not understand, and it's going to cause a frenzy. I know for me, with certain family members, when I decided to not let my daughter wear pants anymore and eat a certain way and celebrate certain things, it was a struggle, because I'm telling you, do not do X, Y, and Z with my child, and you're telling me like, oh, well, I did it with you, and this is just how I am, and if we're not doing that. And it can cause a problem. It can cause problems a lot of the times because of the way that you decide to raise your child. It can cause problems with your family and all of these things. So relationships will change. I know, especially this is something that I've heard many women talk about. Once they get pregnant, they see who their real friends are, and that is true. When I was first pregnant with the twins, I was young, and all of my friends who I thought I had, I really didn't have any. And even now, and I have pretty solid friends around me, but sometimes, especially when you're pregnant, they just forget to invite you to things. And it's like, oh, well, you're pregnant and you're tired. Or now that I have a few children, they're like, oh, well, we didn't know if you wanted to come with the kids and things of that nature. And that's just something that you're gonna have to get used to. Women who have no children like to go out with women who have no children, and women with children like to go out with women who have children. So just find your people. It's nothing wrong with being friends with women who have no children, but it's going to be a different dynamic. They can just get up and say, hey, let's go over here, and you're like, oh baby, I gotta get me a babysitter, or can my kid come? Is this a place kid friendly? And that might put a strain on the relationship. Y'all are not hanging out as much, yada 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 yada. So yeah, some relationships will just not survive after you have a child, and then if they do survive, it'll take work to make them survive. So just be ready to gird up your loins to make these relationships in your life stronger when the baby comes. Number 5 is that postpartum depression can happen no matter how happy you are with the baby or no matter how much help you have in your corner. I do not know a single woman who has not suffered postpartum depression. Personally know them. I don't know any. It happens. There's pretty much nothing that you can do because you think that you're gonna have a baby and you're going to be ecstatic and you're happy, and then you're still feeling like this sadness that you can't shake. Listen, a lot is going on in your body. Your hormones are dropping rapidly, estrogen levels and all of these things are dropping rapidly. Your body is trying to shift back to how it was. You're trying to produce this milk for a baby. You're fatigued. It's so much stuff, y'all, that is happening inside, just internally, not even anything that's happening outside of you with any other outside forces. Everything inside of you is happening very quickly, and it takes a big toll on your emotions, period. You're gonna have mood swings that seem irrational sometimes, and it's just because your body is trying to get back in balance, and it's happening at a very quick, It's happening at a very quick and rapid rate, and that's what a lot of times causes baby blues and postpartum depression. With the twins, my postpartum depression sprung up because I was raising children by myself. I had them when I had just turned 20. So I was pregnant with the twins at 19. I had them when I turned 20. And child, I was by myself. So that's kind of how my postpartum went, and I was homeless at one point. It was so much stuff. My postpartum depression with them lasted well into a year of them being born. And there are months that I don't remember about them just existing. I just don't remember chunks of like a year and less, because I've blocked those portions out of my life because they were traumatic to me. They're gone. I literally sometimes will see pictures and I'm like, where is this? What's happening here? I took the picture, or I'm in the picture, and I cannot remember, especially like when the kids are in the pictures. I just don't remember. I've blocked that part out of my life because I was going through postpartum depression, and at the time I didn't even know what that was. I just thought I was very sad, you know? With Amira, for obvious reasons, I dealt with postpartum depression years after she was born. I think it shifted from postpartum depression into just like grieving depression. So for obvious reasons, just her being in the hospital and just everything revolving around her birth and her life being here, girl, I was depressed. For Suri, I was depressed because I felt guilty. Suri, like I said in my last video, is our rainbow baby, and I felt so guilty. I was so happy to have this baby, and this is why I'm telling you, being happy that you're now a mom, if you're a first-time mom or if you've had multiple children, being happy does not put you in the safe zone to not deal with postpartum depression or baby blues. I was so happy to have Suri. I was in love with this baby, and I was still experiencing postpartum depression because I was guilty that I've had this new baby, and I felt bad about it because in my mind, I felt that my baby who passed away, Amira, would feel like I was trying to replace her. So then I was happy, but I would reserve my happiness because I didn't want my baby who passed away to feel like mommy replaced her. So that's how that depression, that postpartum depression sprung up. And then with our last baby, Mahalia, severe postpartum depression. I am still, y'all, to this day, as I sit here and make this video, I'm still battling and overcoming, dealing with that depression and that mourning and that guilt, pretty much. And this is something that not a lot of people know, but here it is. Every child that I've had has been a C-section, starting with the twins. Amira was a C-section, Story was a C-section. Mahalia was the first child that I delivered vaginally. I went through the whole process of having a baby for her to be, you know, she wasn't alive when I finally pushed her out. Child, the trauma. That's a separate video, but listen. It's so much, y'all. It's so much that can happen during motherhood that I was just not ready for, that I was not prepared for, that I just did not expect to experience so many different things like this. And you just have to be ready, y'all. You got to be prepared. So another thing that I also hear women saying that was very traumatic for them and that kind of fed their postpartum depression is when you're breastfeeding and your milk supply dips. For most women who I know, they go through that, where they're doing really good, the milk is flowing, and then their supply just dips and they cannot feed their baby. You feel useless, you know? Like, you're like, dang, this is literally what I was made to do and I can't even do it. Like, I can't even feed my baby. You feel useless, and then that just feeds the depression. Girl, it is... Listen, like I said, I can make an entire video about the symptoms and the signs and how I have overcome it, because I have overcome it. Just this time, I'm in the process of doing so. I'm just in the process of doing so. So if y'all would like a video about that, let me know down below. And the last one that I'm going to touch on is mom guilt. It is real. It is alive. And mom guilt comes in a few different forms. The main form is really just feeling like you're just not a good enough mom. Like, oh child. I have felt this so many times since the twins have been born up until now. I've just felt this so many times that I'm just not a good enough mom, that I don't have enough patience, that I'm not giving them enough time, that I'm not loving enough or caring enough, or I'm just not enough, and I just want to be a better mom. And it literally makes you feel so guilty, and you're gonna cry about it, and then you're gonna go into your children's room while they're sleeping, and you're gonna cuddle with them, and you're gonna cry with them, and you're gonna whisper to them as they're asleep, because that's what I do, and I whisper to them while they're sleeping, and I'm just saying, like, mommy, sorry that I suck. And even sometimes to them, I'm like, oh my god, mommy sucks. And they're like, mommy, you don't suck. And they just make you feel so, good, but you still feel like, no, I could be so much better. I could just be so much better to you. So that's one way to experience mom guilt, just feeling like you're just not enough. Nothing that you're doing is enough. You're not cleaning enough. You're just not doing enough. The other part of mom guilt is when you're feeling overwhelmed and you're overstimulated and you like snap at them or you lash out at them. You're like feeling bad because you're like, oh my god, like they just wanted to play with me, and because I'm having a really bad day, I like kind of yelled at them and snapped on them. Now they're sad, and then you feel guilty about that. So it's just about finding like a balance, but I think every mom is gonna feel mom guilt. Another way to feel mom guilt is when your children are away and you have your little break and you have your little alone time, and let's say you cuddled up on a couch, you got your little glass of wine, you got your little snack, and it's quiet in the house. Your husband might be at work and you just all alone and you feel amazing, and then you feel guilty because you are having a good time without your children. What? So yeah, I literally feel that sometimes. Literally, like recently, all the kids were away with my friends, and they just had them for a few days for me, and I feel bad. I was like, oh my god, I'm enjoying my life without these kids. I'm having a great time. And listen, you're gonna feel it. It's a real thing, and I don't even know why. especially when you're just enjoying your time away. Like if you and your husband, like, oh my gosh, me and my husband went on a date one day and we went to ride the Ferris wheel, which I have never ridden before in my entire life. So we went out, we got food, we rode the Ferris wheel, we watched this like water show, and when we were riding the Ferris wheel, I was literally like, oh my gosh, the kids would have loved this, we should have brought them. No, we're having a little date. We went, got food together, like we were just chilling at the house together, watching movies together, we were having a really great time. And here I am like, oh, we should have brought them. And my husband's like, no, we shouldn't have. Like, this is a day for us. And there was like this little park at the place, and I was like, oh my God, they would have loved to find that park. Why don't we go get them? He's like, no, this is our time. So it comes in all different forms, y'all. It really does, and it's crazy. My neighbors just turned on some music, y'all, so if y'all can hear that, I do apologize. So those are my things that I wish I would have known. There's so many more, but those are like the main pressing ones. Like, I'm not talking about, oh, I wish I would have known to buy this, or I didn't need to buy these things for my baby, or oh, I should have got. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about, listen, these children are gonna change your life, for real. They're gonna change your life. And it seems like a lot of negative stuff, but let me say this. Yes, motherhood is hard. It is a hard thing. It's not easy, but we were literally created for this. Like, I was created to be a mom. God literally perfectly crafted me into this vessel to be able to care for, and nurture children. This is my calling. This is my purpose. As a woman, it is truly a blessing to have this unique thing about me. Men cannot do this. This is unique to us women to be able to have these children, and it's a blessing and it's an honor to be able to do so. To be able to literally you're forming a human being in your body, okay? You're literally forming a human in your body with teeth. And then when that human comes out, you're able to feed it and nurture it and bring it back to health with milk that you produce from your body. Y'all, it's crazy, and it's so beautiful. It really is. So yeah, it's hard, and there's ups and downs, and it's difficult, and it changes you, but it's so beautiful. And this is literally what we were made for. And that's kind of what I think about sometimes when I'm going through these hard patches and these rough patches of motherhood. I think, yo, put your freaking game face on, because this is what you were made to do. You were made to be a mom to these little people. Like, I was literally made for this. Like, girl, you was literally made for this. So even though you're having a hard time, and you might have cried this morning, and yesterday you had a really rough day, and you was snapping, and you was impatient, tomorrow is a new day. Like, tomorrow is a new day. And every day we have a new day. Lord's willing, you wake up every single day to perfect your walk in motherhood. Every single day I can be more patient, I can be more loving, I can be more caring. And yes, it is hard to do sometimes, but it's totally worth it. When you look back and you see like your child doing things that you taught them, or even when you didn't teach them and they're just doing cool stuff, and you're like, yo, this is my human. This is my little person that I made right here. I love being a mom. Literally, through all the ups and downs, through all of the turmoil and trials and trauma that I have experienced, from pregnancy to birth to just them being up in here looking at me and like requiring things of me, like through all of that, I absolutely love being a mom, 100%. I feel like this video was a little bit scattered and all over the place, but I hope you got something from this video. If you have any questions for me, y'all, please don't hesitate to ask. Follow me on Instagram. I'm very active on there, and I always respond to DMs. Surprisingly, a lot of women ask me motherhood questions, and I'm always baffled and surprised, because I'm like, child, I do not have it all together, but I have been through a lot of things. I really appreciate women who reach out to me and ask me how to deal with dealing with child loss and things of that nature, because I want to make myself available, and obviously they feel like I make myself available, which is my goal. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If y'all did, make sure to, my skirt was tripping, I'm sorry. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That is greatly appreciated. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you would like to. That would make me very happy. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, mamas.